up again!
With an with an over-the-top intro, I say let's just get into the case.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like we got a little bit since we got since this has been a bit of a topic that's been cropping up here and there. I feel like having multiple perspectives for this would actually be perfect, and that is, what would it be like if it was possible to be a Pokemon trainer in real life? And there's already like a lot to go into this that obviously we're thinking like most people think, oh, that'd be cool. I get my favorite Pokemon, I get my Growlithe, I get my Pikachu, I get my Charizard that clearly hates me. I get a bird that's going to intimidate all my neighbors. It's like there's probably a lot more to think about when you get down in the nitty gritty.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it would be. I imagine that certain Pokemon would be either straight up banned for obvious reasons, or you straight up cannot get a hold of them. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, there are like some ghost type Pokemons that would outright delete you from the land of the living. I imagine
Yeah,
those ghost types would either be outright banned, eradicated, or just not be allowed at all for obvious
well,
reasons.
you'd be surprised how few those would be. They'd probably do like a population control like they did with like some invasive species and whatnot.
Yeah.
The only one I could think of off the top of my head that they would outright want to try to drive into extinction for the reasons you said would probably be Malamar, because Malamar is actually stated to be low-key behind some major atrocities due to hypnotizing people into committing them.
Oh yeah. Or another thing is that they might also be government sanctioned for black sites.
Oh, that would definitely be something.
Yeah.
A lot of ghost types, though, when it comes to the evil stuff, when you look at some of their, excuse me, when you look at some of their dex entries, it's actually not. It's actually not that they're evil. A lot of them are just either territorial or they have some kind of purpose. Like in Trevenant's cases, it's only going to
Deleted.
you hurt the forest. So as they state in the Pokemon,
yeah, because it's literally like the spirit of like multiple different like forest Pokemon that's like kind of haunted the tree itself, and it's very protective of that forest kind of thing.
Yeah, so basically, like, if you're doing deforestation, this thing's probably going to start coming after you.
Yeah, very likely.
And it's going to come at you very
It's
quick
also,
again.
and Trevenant also, in its Y-Dex entry, it states that it's kind to the Pokemon that reside in its body, assuming that, like, you got, like, basically, like, some bird Pokemon living in it, like, it's just a regular old tree, so it's not malicious. It's just you do not want to get on this thing's bad side.
Yeah, you don't.
And the thing is, you can catch Pokemon like this as well. So, like, I imagine if you caught a Trevenant or, like, caught, like, Phantom and evolved it into a Trevenant, it would probably consider you as, like, part of its, like, forest/family. So it would be very protective of you. If something tried to harm you, be it another Pokemon or another person, it would get very, very protective of you.
Yeah.
And of course, it would be very protective of your other Pokemon because, well, it would consider them as part of like the family/forest.
Yeah, and another thing too, depending on like depending on the Pokemon, like Eevee for example. Eevee is very popular because all the Eevee evolutions. I imagine there would be a lot of Eevees because they'll be constantly be bred, they'll constantly be evolutionized, etc. So you may have a slightly inbred Eevee.
It might, but they also may actually have like heavy regulations because they'd be like luxury pets and whatnot.
Yeah,
because of that reason. Also, something that, of course, the Pokemon games will never delve into. I can only imagine how horrific it could be if someone tried to use multiple stones on it all at once. What could possibly happen?
Oh,
that
everything would go absolutely wrong there.
Yeah, it would be nightmare
Yeah,
fuel.
Yeah.
like I don't know if any of y'all remember the art, because I mean, like I was in high school when this artist was active. The Pokemon, literally their art was just that, and they actually did draw like Eevee being like a genetic.
Oh,
Yeah.
Basically what it is. That's
Yeah.
probably what you could expect, and it could be like absolutely horrific for the poor thing.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, in I believe it was the Pokemon Yellow manga, Yellow, the protagonist of that, has an Eevee in that. But like the very unique thing about her Eevee is she could evolve it into the other forms, like into its other evolutions, which I thought was a very interesting like thing. So like I imagine that that would probably be like a rare mutation in some EVs. So like to the people that have those EVs, if Pokemon were real and being a trainer was real, you'd be a very lucky person to have one of those EVs.
Oh
a
yeah.
rare genetic mutation.
Yeah,
And those would
Honestly,
probably would get bred to like basically be more luxury as well.
yeah, that could probably be the case. When you think about it, it's basically a beta version of cast form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, there's other illegal types. I actually think, like, even though, again, a lot just get a bad rap for no reason, I could see, like, coughing being illegal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, 100%.
Well,
Yeah.
considering it literally emits poisonous gas, yeah, it would probably be illegal for many reasons.
Here's
Yeah, there's
sorry.
sorry, there's like one of my friends like a few years back actually brought up like an idea of like how some Pokemon are artificially made. In the case of coughing, it could have been chemical warfare.
Yeah.
Here's the funny
Well,
part.
war has been a confirmed thing in Pokemon canon, and Pokemon X
They
and
actually
Y
did
even
search.
Yeah,
Pokemon X and
Gen
Y
1
even
even.
mention a like huge war as well, and it's like, huh, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
Here's the
it's
funny. Sorry.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you either. I'm just going to point this out, and then I'll let you speak. There's because like Kanto, it's highly theorized that a war between them and possibly Unova happened before the events of Red and Blue. So,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
would kind of make sense. That's effectively referencing the United States versus Japan back in the day.
Yeah.
So, who knows? But anyways, what were you saying?
I imagine coughing and any other Pokemon that are similar may actually be used to create illicit substances. Just because, yeah, it's toxic, but any other smart chemist may know, oh, perhaps I can make something to help get myself high and then sell it on the black market.
Well, funny you mentioned that. Some like medicines that we have now came from like stuff with poisonous substances in it. So like I imagine that for a lot of medicines in the Pokemon verse, like if you apply the same logic there, they probably made some medicines from poison type Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the flip side, Galarian wheezing actually does the opposite. It gets rid of the toxins.
Yep.
Which I mean, I've seen like artwork where this thing is used to as like an illicit drug, but knowing the dex entries in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, that basically confirms it that the Galarian form it either adapted or it was made to do the opposite. But that doesn't change the fact that coughing is still its Cantonian form, even in Galar.
And it's still a ball of smog.
Yes.
Yeah. A ball of smog on. Anyways, it is the mascot after all.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, of course, I could actually see, like, you do see, like, a lot of, another, Yeah, to try to think of like another that like you might not think would be illegal, but then you see the evolution and like, okay, yeah, and I actually think Magikarp would actually be one people would be illegalizing as a pet, possibly. Because look what it
Yeah.
evolves into.
Yeah, it evolves into a freaking sea snake.
Yep.
Yeah,
That is
known
very
for having
scary.
a temper.
Yeah. Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it has a _4 weakness to electric types, so just keep a taser on you. I think you'll be fine.
Well, be glad.
Give
Also,
a
be
taser,
glad it
Ted,
wasn't the
you're
beta
fine.
design. Be glad Gyarados isn't its beta design, because the Terror League beta design for Gyarados is literally something straight out of HP Lovecraft.
Oh dear.
Like, holy crap! I don't think anyone would want as a pet then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get into Mega Gyarados, which gets rid of that 4 times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think at this point, like the Gyarados or Magikarp would be highly regulated, just because.
Well, yeah,
On one
if you
hand-
encountered them. Sorry, go on.
Because on one hand, if you go fishing, they're usually the most common fish that you would catch, but at the same time, really good food source. But at the same time, Magic Dragon.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
some Pokemon are actually considered delicacies, and Magikarp is one of those Pokemon. So I imagine there's an entire line of that where they just like breed them
Mhm.
to a point where they can just well, kind of like how
Deleted.
sorry,
Cattle and all that. Basically, it would be a fish
yeah,
farm.
Yeah.
yeah, basically it would be a fish farm, yeah.
Hmm.
I'm gonna think of it. What would be the equivalent of the chicken in this game?
Torchic and Combuskin, as well as Blaziken.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, consider those as starters. By default, you'd think those would be a bit on the rare side, so I don't think they'd be used for like chicken.
I mean, not necessarily,
They're
because
basically
in,
chickens. They're basically chickens.
Yeah. Because
In
I
a lot
looked
of the-
looked into it in detail. They are basically
in a
chickens.
lot of in a lot of the newer games, they have made it so that you can catch starters in the wild in like the DLC areas.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
like
so you do
they
have to go out of your way
become-
for that. Is the thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you do,
but-
but it does mean they have become more common in recent years.
And another thing to keep in mind, though, people would probably would be breeding them for that purpose.
Yeah, which
That is true.
means Blaziken, Torchic, and Combuskin would basically be farm animals
Yep.
Yep.
that are
Yeah.
basically pyromaniacs.
Yep.
Yep.
Because if you think about it, they are fire types.
Yeah, you could also see Farfetch'd probably is in place of the turkey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that or your duck.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Galarian Farfetch looks at you and calls you disgusting.
Yeah.
Now Swanna and Ducklet are definitely duck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean it's in the name after all. As for another illegal Pokemon, this one actually is more so because of a bad rap and actually goes into another awesome. Although this one might veer off into like one of the bigger cons to a trainer in real life. You got is actually Hypno.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I predicted that
yeah.
one. I predicted that one.
Yeah, this one it gets a bad rap because of a handful and also Fire Red and Leaf Green having that one that was harassing the little girl and that one
Yep.
shirt company that made that super creepy decal and now Hypno has a reputation.
Yep.
Even
Yeah,
though in
I
reality that's
predicted
actually
that one.
not true
And
for the
here's
most part.
and here's the thing too. I imagine that Hypno may be like a government sanctioned Pokemon where only certain government agencies would be allowed to have Hypno, but it would be kind of like I said earlier with the other Pokemon, black site shenanigans. Like, oh, we need to hypnotize someone.
Well, here's the thing. In Ultra Moon, its dex entry is that there are some Hypno that assist doctors with patients who can't sleep at night in hospitals. So you could see it like it is
Yeah.
sanctioned. You have to be licensed and such, but yeah, with the unfair reputation Hypno has.
Is very, very astronomically high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's But though, where you can kind of see it applying to real life is with doing hypno stuff. You can imagine that one of the problems with being a trainer in real life is you're going to have some unsavory types.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
100%.
in various
Oh
ways.
yeah. Me and Ark actually talked about this yesterday, and we did come to the conclusion that Pokemon trainers in real life, 10-year-olds would not be allowed to be Pokemon trainers until like they're 18.
18.
Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would be something you'd have to have the age of consent for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine like they would that this doesn't apply to those that are like otherwise house pets though.
Yeah.
House pets would be fine, like say Eevee or maybe like
Eevee, Growlithe, and all that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Something
These
small
guys-
that you can fit in your house.
These guys would be fine.
I should have had my dog down here. I'd have my little Growlithe here. Anyways,
I have my Eevee plushies nearby, so
Mm.
I should probably pull out my Togedemaru plushie. I hadn't pulled him out since my last regional.
Oh, and also,
Oh, here's
another-
one that definitely would be illegal. Voltorb.
yeah.
Oh yes, definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That one an electrode.
Because I mean, you just look at it wrong, and then suddenly
It basically
you're just a
explodes.
crater.
Mhm.
yeah.
I do genuinely think though that Voltorb was another warfare artificial. Because
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even with the Hisuian version, like I feel like Voltorb was made to be like a trap.
A Voltorb and Electrode were made to be little claymores.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the Hisuian one definitely makes its existence make no sense, though, of course, so there's that. But when you look
It's
compared
funny
to
nonetheless.
Hisuian,
It's funny
looks a
nonetheless.
lot happier.
Yep.
It's funny nonetheless.
Yeah. I can imagine that's pretty much dead obvious. Nope, this ain't allowed because we don't need to... I feel like any that can learn self-destruct and explosion naturally are just immediately banned. You cannot have those.
There's a lot that could happen. Give you a
Or
lot of
at the very least, you would need a lot of licensing.
Yeah, and I'm talking like they learn... naturally, I'm talking like they learn it through level up.
Yeah.
So that would I think that eliminates Snorlax. So I know Snorlax can get self-destruct, but I don't think it gets it by level up.
Okay,
Yeah.
do you want the Pokemon that can learn self-destruct or explosion?
Both. And just so we can get every single thing out of the way, Misty Explosion too.
Misty Explosion as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Give me a sec, let me refine.
Do it on a national dex.
Okay, oh dear God, this is a very big list.
Oh god.
For Explosion, it's Geodude, Graveler, and Golem, and their Alolan forms.
Mhm.
For Voltorb and Electrode and the Hisuian forms. Coughing and Wheezing, including Galarian Wheezing. Mew, Snorlax, Pinecone Fortress, Baltoy and Claydol, Ghastly, Haunter and Gengar, Executor, Shelter and Cloyster, Muck and Grimer for Explosion. That's a lot that got tactically nuked.
Yeah.
I'm kind of upset that Snorlax got nuked there.
Well, Snorlax, I'm looking at the moveset, it doesn't learn it naturally. That's the thing. You have to go out of your way to teach it that.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to self-destruct, Geodude, Graveler, and Golem, basically, it's repeat up until Baltoy and Claydol. Then there's Wailord, Mewtwo, and Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo is via breeding. Yeah.
I should probably click on DB. This should
Hmm.
make it a lot easier.
And the Misty Explosion, Clefairy Clefable, Jigglypuff Wigglytuff, Galarian Weezing, Meryl Azumarill. Oh dear, this is gonna hurt everybody right in the sensitive bit. Gardevoir.
Yeah.
Then there's Florges.
yeah. Okay. Anyways,
Sylveon is in there. Carbink, Diancie, Primarina,
yeah, fire
Magearna,
your band.
Yeah.
Hetrine, Alcremie, Enamorous, both forms, Screamtail, and Mew.
All right.
So, like, here's the thing.
That's a big
mentioning
list.
how like a couple of legendary Pokemon can learn that as well. Legendary and a mythical. Problem with like trying to regulate mythicals and legendaries, they're a whole ballpark of their own. So like
Nobody touches them. Nobody touches them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think honestly,
That's
I think we should come back to that in just a moment. Honestly,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that's the thing with them though. What if they choose like who their partner is?
Okay, that's a different story.
yeah, I
Yeah,
can see that actually being the case.
If they choose the partner, that's perfectly fine. But otherwise, you do not touch them.
Another issue is that you may have to deal with like government issue, because wasn't there like a problem back in 2023, 24, where like some dude squirrel ended up getting deleted by the government because he had a illegal pet squirrel?
I think I'd have to look into that.
Yeah.
That happened during the 2024 election, and
Yeah.
and honestly, that basically gave the election to Trump.
Yeah. I can see something
Yeah.
like that happening with the legendaries, where it's like, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to have a legendary. Tries to fight it, and then basically, your sweet coon basically gets deleted.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it'd be deleted. I think they would.
it
just
wouldn't be
take it.
deleted because here's the thing with legendaries: they are incredibly powerful.
they're very potent.
Yeah.
Even if you had the numbers game, they're known as legendaries for a very good reason.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think honestly that'd be more likely with like common Pokemon that would otherwise be illegal. So like if you had a Malamar, you'd definitely be like that's when that would happen.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah. Going back to self-destruct, we can actually eliminate the Quillfish and Varoom lines because they don't learn it by level up; they learn it by breeding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Explosion, the Magnemite, Cryogonal, Roly-Poly, Colossal, and Glimora lines don't learn it, though Glimora learns self-destruct naturally, so that's out.
What about the Mystic Explosion?
Yeah, hang on a second. Because I'm having to use Pokemon DB for this to help keep track.
But otherwise, it's pretty solid.
Yeah. Oh, wait, Misty Explosion, we might actually be safe on that, because that apparently is through TM, so that would probably be the TM itself is banned.
Mhm.
Okay, so every Pokemon on that list would be fine.
Yeah. I thought it
Yeah.
would be naturally learned, so we're probably fine
Yeah,
with that.
it's just
Oh.
yep, everybody's favorite little bait Gardevoir is fine.
Oh, here's another thing that could also
I'm
be
pretty
a thing.
sure Gardevoir would get you some looks.
Here's
Either that.
Hmm?
Sorry. Go on.
Another thing to keep in mind, though, like there are certain like Pokemon that yes can learn explosions naturally, but another thing you have to keep in mind, at least in the States, you can have a pet skunk, but you have to have the stink glands removed. So I think there could be a possibility that some of them that are not as bad to basically be forced to remove the explosion or self-destruct move.
That's a good point. It's just that the ones that learn it naturally, that kind of means that they're basically taking time to go off no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Meow.
Yeah.
And there's the Meowth. Anyways, okay. But also going on the whole Gardevoir, the whole sip bait thing, I imagine there's going to be laws against that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, like there's going to be
we like to joke Thank you, Joker, for the joke. There are no laws against Pokemon Batman.
Yeah,
but-
that old meme.
Yeah, but unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on like which lane you're in on this, that would definitely be something that is highly regulated and be like, yeah, nope, you can't do that.
Another thing too is that I think it might also kind of depends on the Pokemon because Lucario, at least depending on the iteration, because wasn't there a Lucario that was fully sentient?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like able to telepathically speak.
yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like there's going to be some Pokemon that can do that. I could see them actually being used for like translation.
majority of psychic Pokemon are going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
That I don't think. I think it's actually a very small few. We haven't really seen many that could do it. I know Slowking can do it.
hmm
Lucario can do it. Meowth could, but apparently that took a lot of time, supposedly.
Yeah. It
So
depends
I think
on the intelligence level.
yeah.
the intelligence level, the patience you have for training them up to do that, and also the species. I think there's a lot of factors that go into it. I imagine very few can actually do that.
I think some of the
Yeah.
humanoid ones could do it.
Yep.
Yeah, the humanoid ones definitely could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gardevoir and Gallade, I know definitely could.
hmm
Yeah.
Because they're both humanoid in shape, so they definitely could do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The thing is, we've never seen that before. We've only seen it with like a small handful. Like even with Alakazam, with the over-exaggerated IQ idea, that with it, we haven't ever seen one do the talking. Like I said, I think I think it's actually very rare.
I
It
think
would
the
be
only
funny
reason
to see an
that is
Alakazam talk, though.
yeah, I think the only reason they
I'd imagine
haven't
it
done
sounds like
that
a
is
grandpa.
because yeah, the reason why they haven't like done that is because like this is a kid series, we don't want to put too much intelligence into this because like this is meant to be for kids, so we kind of need to keep it a bit dumbed down for them, so like that's probably why.
hmm
Yeah,
See,
probably.
There's
In a
one
realistic
potential-
situation, probably a lot more Pokemon, especially the psychic types, like and the humanoid ones, probably would be able to like do it, you know?
Yep. And
Uh-huh.
they might even have equal rights because I imagine like some of the more humanoid ones. Yeah, I imagine it would be illegal to throw a Pokeball at one for obvious reasons.
I suppose it depends. I think it's more of like if they already can, you can't do that. But like if they can't speak, then they're fair game or something. Which that kind of raises another moral dilemma, I guess.
Now, I'm gonna add on to that whole talking Pokemon thing. A talking Metagross.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, we've never seen that, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's supposed to be like basically a supercomputer of a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Now, what would that sound like, though? Any ideas?
Robotic, probably.
Robotic, yeah.
It probably like imagine how their regular cries sound in the Pokemon anime. That's probably how they sound like.
Yeah.
hmm
I know there was like a part in the XY anime where like Pikachu was having a dream, and the Pokemon could talk in that, and they basically sounded like their regular voices.
Yeah.
hmm
That's probably how it would go.
Very likely.
Yeah. Oh, I almost forgot about this. Another one that would probably be illegal, and this one would definitely get you on a list. Drifloon. As you
Drifloon
guys may have heard
as
of
well.
what Drifloon likes to do.
I'm not familiar because, like I
It's
mentioned, like
actually,
before the recording, I'm a bit of a boomer when it comes to Pokemon.
yeah, it likes to carry children to the afterlife that grab onto it.
Oh,
Yep.
Yep. Apparently, it hates fat kids because it gets pulled around by them.
huh. Yeah, I think this might be the one Pokemon that might be driven to extinction.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, one of the Pokédex entries says like it may be the reincarnated human souls, but those have not been confirmed. So I feel like ghost types you just cannot get rid of no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they're ghosts.
Yep.
Hmm.
Basically, they're like
there is a
cockroaches.
consequence to trying to do that with Hisuian Zoroark.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that could actually go pretty badly.
Yep.
They're like cockroaches. You can't get rid of them no matter what you try.
Yeah, then in that case, I imagine that the Pokemon Rangers would probably be a lot more lucrative then, because you would be trying to keep.
Yeah,
the
you would have-
Rangers would absolutely be having a field day.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, you.
I'd
100%.
imagine there'd be a police division even. Like you'd see
Yeah.
so many law enforcement having rangers.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, there's a lot of Pokemon that are just outright super dangerous.
Yeah.
Like that'd probably be like a common job you could see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like how animal control, like they'd probably be in their place.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this: the Pokemon Rangers would literally be having sleepless nights for like a week straight.
Oh man, I can only imagine the PTSD for some of these.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
But yeah, Hisuian Zoroark is actually one that would be that shows what happens when you try to drive a Pokemon to extinction, because that thing actually, its Hisuian form absolutely despises humanity, and even in its reveal trailer, it actually
Deleted.
and it's because of the fact that people didn't understand it, so they would try to
Deleted.
Unova. People began to understand Pokemon, and then Zoroark kind of became what it is in the modern day, and it's no longer as aggressive.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to keep in mind when you're having to do like eradication and such, that it could backfire that badly, and you could
Yeah.
turn them absolutely aggressive and even more dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, like, here's the thing, like, with a lot of, like, the newer Pokemon stuff, like, the entire reason we're able to catch them is because, like, the majority of them have been domesticated to a point where, like, they can still be a threat, but they're only a threat if you're stupid enough to make them a threat.
True for the most part. Some are just naturally dangerous, no matter what. Such
Mhm.
as
Yeah, some are naturally dangerous, yes.
like apparently Jellicent being responsible for the Titanic without the iceberg.
Yeah.
Where like, and honestly, like an Ultra Sun, what's really creepy for like Jellicent is that if you're on a cruise ship, the moment you go overboard, that thing's killed
Deleted.
because it's all around it. And
Yep.
even fishermen are absolutely terrified of going out to sea because of Jellicent. So yeah, the Pringles Pokemon and that thing.
Deleted.
Mm.
Yeah. Which I'm still amazed by how, like, in the Pokemon games, yes, I know the games are aimed at kids mostly, but, like, you can not only find these Pokemon in the wild, but there are also trainers that also use these Pokemon, and there's seemingly, like, zero consequences to that, and it kind of baffles me because it's like, either the Pokedex entries are huge exaggerations on this, or like,
Something's wrong here.
or yeah, or they're like in the wild not as dangerous as like the Dex entries suggest.
Another possibility is basically they know how to handle it, because aren't there like certain animals that you can keep as pets, but you need to have specialized facility for it
Yep.
and licenses?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very likely thing too. I mean,
Yeah.
my family business is wildlife conservation, and there are some very specific stuff we have to keep in mind for like some of the enclosures, and
Yeah.
that could be the same with like a lot of Pokemon. And like with
Right.
zoos, they have to have like certain enclosures for certain ways to handle it. So that could be like with some of these Pokemon as well.
So that's probably yeah, like for the more dangerous ones, there are probably specific things you have to do to be able to like own it, I guess, would be the case.
Like owning a fire type that's prone to using fire, you have to have certain regulations in your house.
Yeah.
Like as well, a lot of people could theoretically get out of paying electric bills by owning electric Pokemon because oh yeah, I'm powering it myself kind of thing. And we all know why that's a very bad idea.
Rip.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, all the Pikachus that were abused at that point.
Meow.
Hey Pikachu, please charge up my phone. Oh, that's nice. Now charge up my entire house. Why are you sleeping?
And there's another problem to go with that, and this was more so a Gen 7 thing, even though this was effectively extraterrestrial. That might attract some things you don't want to. They might go overboard. It attracts things you don't want to have nearby because circuitry kind of gets a little interested in a lot of electric charge, and it will go and try to siphon it. And you try to stop it, it gets aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And mind you,
Ultra
this is a Pokemon with a base 173 special attack. So this thing's gonna probably
Deleted.
on its bad side.
Yep.
Yeah, Ultra Beasts are a whole other like thing. A
They're
whole other
technically the
issue.
aliens of
Mhm.
Pokemon.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, extra dimensional, but yeah. Still counts as aliens, I guess. Regardless, there would be a whole other issue because that they come from a different world to ours.
Yeah, that one's kind of hard to really talk about because that kind of requires.
That's a whole different can of worms.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably an organization. There'd probably be an organization to deal with those so as to prevent them from being an issue. But like again, there would potentially be an issue.
Very much.
Another one that'd probably be illegal. This one I think would be more so aimed at if you're a woman, you can't have it. If you're a man, you probably need to have some regulations. This is and that'd be Salazzle.
Not
I
familiar
know it's
with
pretty funny,
Celestial.
but they confirmed it themselves. Like the pheromones that Salazzle, the hypnotic pheromones that Salazzle emits can affect human males.
Huh.
Yep.
So when you get right down to it, like even though it's more of this be more of leaning towards like female trainers using it, Salazzle technically could be used as a date.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
And
I
I can
saw
also
that one
imagine-
coming
Actually,
a mile away.
Actually, I'm just thinking, wouldn't they have like vaccines or medicine like available to prevent that? Now that I
They
think
could,
about
but that's assuming like it's either a liquid or a solid substance. This one's more of a gaseous one.
Mm.
Yep,
that. Also,
like a fart.
yeah.
That's a disturbing
suppose-
thought I didn't need anyways.
I suppose you could also try and build a tolerance for it, assuming that it's like that, like works that way as well, because your body
Probably.
can like grow an immunity to stuff like that.
Probably. I can
Problem-
imagine that's not pleasant.
Yeah, no. The way I'd see that working is you'd probably like expose like a group of people to that until like their body is like okay, this doesn't affect me anymore, and then that like gets passed down through the gene pools. So that probably gets passed down to a point where it either affects them a little bit or doesn't affect anyone at all.
Mm.
Would be my reasonable guess.
Yeah.
Possibly. It's a little It's a little weird, though. I could also see it be like, if you have like the regulation can okay with authorities, like you could have like, say, your wife like having a salazzle and helping you get more tolerant, and when it doesn't work, you know what can happen. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah,
Obviously, I would err heavily on the caution side of things.
yeah. So I imagine there's like a lot of supervision to go on into it, a lot of trust being needed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think it's as simple as the whole gene pool going down. Because I feel like, just like us, these Pokemon will adapt with time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine that we probably would start getting like weird domesticated variants, because I recall like with like dogs, their tails became a lot more floppy from wolves, and with like the foxes, with the attempts to domesticate the foxes, they went from straight to kind of floppy, wiggly, that type of deal. So we would probably have that weird variation with Pokemon.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like Furfrou is definitely a case where that actually does exist
Mm.
Yeah.
with its gimmick. So where you can actually get like the different coats and all that. So probably you can say that it basically got subjected to that.
Oh yeah. And I imagine that certain shiny Pokemon would be a lot more common as well, as they should be, because people would definitely be breeding the shinies.
I imagine they'd be kind of like how, you know, how like people spot like cryptids and whatnot. They'd
Mhm.
probably be treated like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like, I swear, there was a blue Espeon.
That too as well.
Yeah, you could probably imagine some legendaries are basically treated like that as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they probably would be considered like Bigfoots. It's like,
Yeah.
then in that case, wouldn't that mean that there's also a possibility that there would not be like real regulation with the legendaries as well, since they are considered cryptids? So it would just be kind of like you and me suddenly owning a Chupacabra.
I think it depends on the legendary. Some are supposedly more common than others.
Mm.
Like the birds
Yeah.
are actually not that legendary in the grand scheme of things.
Mm.
Whereas you got like ones that there's clearly only one of, like the Island Guardians or, well, Ponky and
Groudon and
Dialga.
Kyogre.
Yeah.
Yep. So those are probably the
Yep.
ones that would be treated like such, whereas the birds would be like, oh, this is a rare one.
Yeah.
Or like
Well, that's
say,
literally it.
or like say Arceus, which there's only one.
Mm.
Well, there is only one, yes, but it can also break itself into fragments if Legends Arceus is anything to go by.
That's the plates. That's the
Mhm.
plates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the plates, technically
Well,
Zygarde is that too, so you could probably see
think-
like the cells being common, but nobody's seen the real thing.
Mm.
yeah, like if I remember correctly, in Legends Arceus, Arceus himself like even mentions that the thing we're seeing is still like only a fragment of him, and it's not like his true appearance, and the true appearance is like something beyond like our comprehension, which fair enough, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably like the true form of Arceus being the Big Bang or something.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's beyond our comprehension.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right on that regard.
Yeah.
I mean, now one thing that kind of stumped me about Legends Arceus was the origin forms of Palkia and Dialga.
Yeah, a lot of people did not like that.
No,
Myself
they
included.
Here's one that probably would be eradicated, actually. Morlul. Because that thing literally siphons it not just takes the power out of stuff, it literally
Deleted.
being parasitic. So I imagine that would be an eradicated one.
Yep.
And also, just look at Shiinotic's face. Like, that thing is creepy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, may just link in a picture into the chat since we're doing this with Discord. That thing looks like it's a anorexic toad. Good lord.
That's the Pokemon that would get eradicated.
That's its evolution.
Ah, okay.
But the point still remains, like, it would definitely be eradicated because of the fact that, like, this
It's
thing,
a
like,
literal parasite.
yeah, that thing's literally deadly.
Yeah.
Literal Among Us.
Among Us.
I have to make the Among Us joke, okay?
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow.
Can
Hmm.
someone feed the Meowth coin?
That sounded very similar to Skyrim.
And before I took an arrow to the knee jokes.
I was
Yep.
gonna say, can somebody throw the Meowth a ball of yarn?
Okay, yeah, this thing would actually be kind of dangerous because according to its black entry, it basically releases poison spores after luring people in with the Pokeball pattern.
Oh, so I was actually right on one of them.
Though at the same time, if we could also technically say that's more of like if people touch it.
Mm-hmm.
So there'd definitely be like err on the side of caution. Don't touch anything that looks like a Pokeball that you don't recognize because it may be that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell like generations of kids that you do realize that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it kind of be like the whole wild mushrooms thing where like it's like some can get you high, but they're more likely to
Deleted.
yeah,
Don't do
don't be an
drugs.
idiot and eat those things.
Don't touch the funny mushroom.
Yeah,
Don't tou-
you're not going to get the same power up Mario gets.
Uh,
Eh. All right, on the subject.
You're
of
not gonna turn it into
mushrooms,
a gigantic thing.
mm,
Yeesh.
may I? Hang on a sec.
Or you're not gonna become invincible.
Yeah.
We all have
But
to
yeah,
have our fun. Okay?
Also, try to look up in the freaking. Trying to look up Paras's dex entries, and I think I just lost brain cells from this.
mm.
For Ultramoon, the mushrooms known as Pochucaso are controlling the bug. Even if the bug bugs the mushrooms, they tell it to bug off. My
Oh, that's
brain.
funny. Tell it to bug
My
off.
brain. I lost some brain cells from this. It just why?
Oh, was it just you?
Wasn't just you.
Mm. Bug off.
Honestly,
Me looks at particular dex entry. Why are you the way you are?
I had to look.
Why are
this,
you like this?
I have to look this up, but oh, okay, yeah, that might be an eradicated one, but I don't think maybe not eradicated because it's only hitting Paris, but definitely one that they might make some efforts to do it because that's apparent. Because Tochukaso is apparently cordyceps.
Mm.
So yeah, the parasitic fungus that actually does exist in the real world. Except on a Paras, that means it's huge, and who knows what could happen if a person gets that.
Yeah.
But then again, it could only be relegated to the bug. It'd probably still be something that would be like highly regulated if that's the case.
Mm.
Well, the actual virus itself, like it only affects like bugs and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just that like, well, we've all know what The Last of Us is like, so
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
We all know.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
The funny mushroom.
Oh, here's one that I don't think this one would be outright illegal, but when you think about it enough, this is definitely a dilemma that kind of makes regulating this kind of Pokemon really, really weird. And that is Primate with Rage Fist, how supposedly it gets so angry it dies in order to become Annihilate. So technically, you're making it so angry that it dies. So you're
making
killing
it
a
so angry.
Deleted.
It's still there, and you're just using a move it naturally gets.
The joke is, you're making it so angry.
Deleted.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, technically that's not that. That's not that crazy to think about, because when you're under enough stress, you can't. In some cases, you can get heart failure. It's just that doing it out of sheer anger is kind of funny.
Right.
It's a joke.
Mhm.
It's a joke move.
A joke move that led to probably one of the most overpowered Pokemon in singles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say Annihilate is a little broken.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even though Annihilate is a ghost type, right? You can literally just make the argument, it's not dead though. It's literally so angry it refuses to die.
It refuses to die. Do you have a problem with that?
Mhm.
Okay, so a Alolan Grimer may actually be one that could be like regulated to jobs and whatnot.
Mhm.
Because apparently this one was meant to deal with this was a adaptation for it dealing with a garbage problem. So it's kind of used for like just waste disposal.
Yeah.
So whereas a regular Grimer, this is definitely something that you could say is the end result of rampant pollution.
Mhm.
So technically, an artificial Pokemon that was a complete accident and now can
Yeah.
be kind of dangerous.
Oh,
Oh, speaking of artificial, I imagine there would probably be a lot of regulation for Ditto. For
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like you showed Ditto a picture of magazines. Like, I am not transforming into that.
Right.
Ditto be like, yeah, no, you're on your own, buddy.
Girl, I swear to God.
Mhm.
Boy,
Ditto
I
be
swear
like,
to God,
you're on
stop
your own,
it.
buddy.
You could
Yep.
definitely see like breeders actually being able to legally have one for the purposes of such.
Mhm.
Oh, 100%.
And I can
Yes.
imagine, like, if you're suffering depression, it's actually illegal to have it, like, in case, like, a loss of a loved one, because that seems like an unhealthy way to cope.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, like,
Sad thing is,
let's take, for example, you lost a grandparent. Your Ditto,
Yeah.
realizing that you are really suffering in that moment, decides that it's probably going to try to be a good thing and try to pretend to be the grandma right then. And then that's not pretty. And yeah, it's trying to help, but that's very damning. That's very damaging.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
It's trying to help, but in its own way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, like, I'd imagine a lot of breeders, especially for like Pokemon that are endangered, are gonna try to use Ditto for that to try and keep like for like population control and whatnot.
Keep the populations alive.
Yeah, it'd probably be used a lot for that. And I
Mhm.
imagine, and part of me kind of wants to think Ditto would not be that common.
Mm.
Because, I mean, let's be honest, have we ever seen an actual Ditto egg?
Nope.
Hmm. I would consider that as a 50-50, just because Ditto would be way too useful.
And also the fact that you could kind of hide Ditto pretty easily, all things considered, because it's an amorphous blob.
Yes.
It's a blob of goo.
So, like, you could literally have it just, like, like hiding under like your jacket, like all slimy and whatnot, just hugging onto you or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with like the population control that you mentioned there, there was a kid who played like Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow, one of those three, and Lapras in that was an endangered Pokemon. And what that kid ended up doing was it ended up breeding that Lapras and kept releasing like all of like the baby Lapras, and like so the Pokemon Company decided in a really wholesome way to like actually make that a Pokedex entry that like someone like went and bred enough Lapras so that they were no longer endangered, and that's why the population had like a boom. I forget which Pokemon game it was, but it has that
I
deck
think it was
entry, and I'm like,
Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Yeah,
I was like, that's actually really wholesome.
that
Wholesome and
is.
cute.
Mm.
And it makes sense because like you could hardly find Lapras in the first two gens, and now you can find them easily in the wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they even made it like just an overworld thing too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine Ditto's not all that common, and it's more so used for like population control and whatnot. I could definitely, although I could definitely see a certain red light industry really liking Ditto.
Yep.
Yeah. That
Hey, you said it before I could.
would be like
Yep.
the biggest one I imagine, though.
$5 in the cookie jar.
And I can imagine that's a very illegal use of it. Like you could literally get landed in some pretty hot water for something like that.
Yeah, I imagine there are probably like entire squads looking for Dittos just to prevent that kind of thing.
Maybe not to that extent, but like law enforcement is like really getting like an eagle eye for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, that...
Kind of like how the whole
Excuse me.
prostitution bust of like that started in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like
It'd be something like that.
That's also assuming that like law enforcement isn't lax about it, because I don't know if you've noticed, but like in some cases law enforcement is pretty lax on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people
Depends on the area. There are some where they are just there's a bleep.
Yeah.
I've counted at least 20 so far. So
Yeah.
Probably make that.
Yeah,
the
I've counted a
one
few
effect.
too.
Mhm.
If I will go back and do the edits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Please
Anyway.
provide me with the sound bits.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. All right. What's it going? Let's go a little bit more positive. Let's assume like what ones we can probably assume would be pretty common as pets aside from Eevee. Like I'd imagine most of the dog Pokemon definitely
Oh,
would
yeah,
be. So like
definitely,
Electrike,
definitely.
Growlithe, Lillipup. You'd probably
Definitely.
see those a lot.
Rockruff.
Mm.
Yeah, you could probably see several bird Pokemon also being there, or several cat Pokemon, just like the kind of naturally you'd expect as pets.
I can see a lot of normal type Pokemon being pets.
Depends on the normal type. There are some you would not want, like Exploud would not be one you'd want.
Yeah, that thing is way too noisy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Exodo, just
Yeah, that's a good way to
the
get a
only
noise
use it
complaint
has
from
is
the
for when
neighbors.
you're about to be late for work. It just goes up and it's like, it's my day!
Yeah.
It just yells boom burst in your face. It's like,
Yeah.
it sounds like the freaking screaming marmot.
My reasoning
That
why I think a lot of normal ones would be pets is mostly because, unlike a little fire lizard, at least you don't have to worry about your house getting burned down.
Yeah,
by a freaking pyromaniac Pokemon.
Psychic types
Yeah.
too, and maybe like some tiny stuff or stuff like technically low base stat totals, or they wouldn't be as big of a threat. So like a love disc, we'd probably have like in a fish
A
tank.
fishbowl. A
Mm,
fishbowl.
yeah.
Yeah, I could kind of see love disc even being like used as often like a romance symbol. Because I mean, look at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at this tiny thing. It's a freaking
E-
heart, even though it's absolutely useless and should have evolved into a Lomomola.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm.
it should have.
Yep.
I'm still mad they didn't do that. Anyways,
Oh, sorry.
yeah. Also, Legends Arceus also kind of gave like a good indication of what could possibly be like a pet or whatnot. Because like, everybody's favorite Bidoof, like it literally just goes up to you and is
Lord
just,
Bidoof.
Mm-hmm.
Lord
just,
Bidoof.
looks at you happily, and then just saunters off. So like,
Then there's also
imagine
Bebarrel.
Pokemon like that definitely would be like worthy of being pets.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's also
Then there's
Bebarrel.
some that are like really scared of you, otherwise more scared of you than you are of them. So those would probably be there. And then there's some that err on the side of caution because they'll attack you outright, like Shinx. Like Legends Arceus does give you a good idea on like how some of them would otherwise be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it really depends on that. Yeah, like I think Pachirisu definitely is one that just goes up to you and just smiles at you.
Emolga.
Yep.
Yeah, Polga.
The flying version of Pachirisu, which is annoying as crap.
Mm-hmm.
But it has no world champion on their championship title under its belt, so it can't gloat too much. Anyway.
I don't care if it's a champion. It can be annoying.
Yeah, and as much as we like to meme about Lopunny and the whole "no laws against Pokemon" Batman joke, I'd imagine Bunnery would actually be kind of popular with like small girls or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just being like a cute little
Got
bunny.
to have my Ephraim.
What?
You've never seen that episode of Family Guy, have you?
That explains everything already. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not
can
not
imagine,
going into what the rest of it. I'm just saying Ephraim. All you need to know, it was a naming convention for Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
That particular episode.
Most I know for Bugs Bunny and Family Guy is getting shot finally.
Uh.
Yeah, the Stunky, like as you were saying before, Fire, with how skunks they have to be descented,
Mm-hmm.
and like the family business that I've got, we've had to do that with the skunks we've had for a while.
Ah.
And I imagine you have to do the same with Stunky, which
Yep.
I'd like them.
As
I'd
well
also
as
like to
Skunk
think if you do that, you can't. They legally can't be used for battle.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Why? Okay. No pun intended, but that's definitely
Well,
like the stink
I
eye
need to-
get on Pokemon DB.
Mm-hmm.
I need to contribute. Wouldn't, first of all, Pokemon fights be prohibited by law because it's animal cruelty?
That's a good point. I think it's actually stated in lore that for a lot of Pokemon, battles are actually kind of healthy for them because it's like one of the best forms of exercise for them.
That and battles like are kind of regulated, like with like
Yeah, there's
how do I
regulations
describe
and
it?
like leagues and whatnot, and like
Yeah.
the rule sets for that. I imagine they'd be
Yeah.
more regulated than they are in the games,
Oh,
but they would
yeah.
be regulated enough.
Yeah.
So like you
Yeah.
can't just do them all in broad daylight or like in buildings like you can in the games because
Or
Yeah,
in the
and you
games,
couldn't
well,
and you
game
couldn't
mechanics-
just go and you also couldn't just go to someone, I'm challenging you to a fight now, you don't have a choice in this.
Yeah,
You would not be able to do that.
yeah, that
I'd
would
imagine it'd
definitely
probably
be
be
a
more
thing.
like it'd probably be more like you'd have to go up to them and like you'd have to actually like ask of them and then have both parties consenting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that would be pretty common, and you could probably see like the closest to like an illegal fight ring when it comes to that would be like either some of the more unsavory types or like those who are just about to get out of high school and are just a little impatient, want to give it a shot. They'd probably be trying it out with like some of their buddies. like
Yeah.
away from
Yeah.
the school grounds or something.
Hmm.
You could probably see that being a common thing.
Yep. That would be very likely. Because as someone who played like some of the older games, the one thing I found very annoying is being dragged into a battle where I'm trying to heal, and it's like, I don't want to battle you. I just want to go to the Pokemon Center to heal my Charizard.
Yeah, that could be a thing too. Like, there, even though this is more of a competitive term, they call it the cleric clause. Because in Gens 1 and 2, you could actually go into battles with your Pokemon already like statused or missing health or PP,
Hmm.
and there's actually some I mean, in the games, there's some advantages to that. Like having your Pokemon already burnt means they can't be put to sleep or paralyzed in Gen 1. That's like a death sentence.
Yep.
But I imagine like the cleric clause would be like there'd be like a little bit of rule where it's like your Pokemon must be healed up fully before they can all fight, and they can't be like exhausted. They have to be in top shape before you can actually challenge somebody.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Exceptions to this might be like the regulated gauntlets, like the Elite Four. So because like that's meant to be like a test and all that.
Yeah, test of endurance. How far can you go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
With
That's
that,
meant
with that, you'd probably be expected to heal your own Pokemon. Like,
mhm.
I imagine that with that gauntlet, because you know how like you have to go through like a set of rooms before like you challenge the next person in the Elite Four. I imagine there's like a waiting room because you won't just be the only person challenging the league. So I imagine that like you'll be in like a waiting area with other trainers where you can probably allow your Pokemon to rest for a little bit, and that would be like your chance to heal them up.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I imagine it's not like just a one at a time thing. I imagine like when it comes to like a league, there's like wait lists and whatnot and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd also like to think it'd be more like how it was from Unova onwards. It's not just like one specific member after the other, because of the fact that like that seems like that would be way too much on just one of them.
Hmm.
I imagine there's probably like different, like even though in that particular region there is one Pokemon League, I imagine that like if these were an actual thing like in our world, there would be multiple of them in every country. Like there wouldn't just be one per country. It would be like they would have like so many put around so people can challenge them. Because dedicating just one building and 4 people, well, 5 people if you include the champion, to like one building and so many people challenging them a day, it's gonna be very exhausting.
They'd have to do the tournament style like in the anime.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It'd be that, but I also think that's what the purpose of the gyms are for, and they're scattered all over the country. It's those who can prove they've done all of them that can challenge the Elite Four.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
That does seem like a good little bit of a regulation right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gyms are the weed out who can make it to the final test.
Yeah, the difference there is I don't think it'd be limited to 8. I think it depends on the region. I'm just gonna take. Oh, but I gotta go to Pokemon.com just to go with like championship points for and all that.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
to kind of, just to see like, kind of get a rough estimate on how this might work. Okay, so. Oh, that does I think it's because it's close to the end of the season. It's a little weird.
Mm.
But like you probably okay. And anyways, I think 8 would be like the maximum, but you just expect that in like the more populated countries
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking
that have
like,
an active circuit, whereas like you'd see. Oh, excuse me, like you see like the Oceania circuit, since like that's just one much smaller continent. You probably see like you probably have like four, and then like South Africa being the smallest of the leagues, you'd probably see like it'd probably only be like 3 badges you need.
Hmm.
So that's another thing to consider. Like North America, if we go with like North America, that's probably where like you'd expect like 8 in different areas, and like where you'd commonly see regionals, like in Charlotte, North Carolina, is probably where like one of the gyms would be.
I imagine for like North America or the United States, it would be one heck of a nightmare. Just because you have different states that are literally the size of countries. Like the state of Texas is literally the size of France, for example. So Texas would have
Yeah,
their own like regional thing.
probably, or it'd be just regulated into like into their capital city.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it'd be more like where like a regional championships normally happens in real life is
Hmm.
probably where the gyms would be located. So like Dallas is probably where like the gym would be.
Hmm.
Yeah, like Dallas, Anaheim, Charlotte, stuff like that. Yeah, and I'd also like to think it might not even strictly be monotype. It's just that preference, not strictly so.
Yeah.
Should be more looking like how cheating aside, Lance's team was supposedly like dragons, but was more of a flying type team.
Hmm.
We can't call him a dragon type. He was a flying type.
Yeah.
At least not until the remakes.
The remakes were the only time that he ever became a dragon type.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also Lance cheats all the time.
Yeah, he has a habit of cheating.
Yeah.
Speaking of cheating, actually, I think when you think about it, there might actually be regulations on certain battle items for that reason.
Hmm.
Like this one is really tough to think about because you have like the X items being used. You have you have held items and all that.
I
This one's really hard to tell, but it's like when you think of the idea of like steroids and whatnot. So maybe like using vitamins, maybe like looked down upon or something.
I think vitamins would be okay because if it's for Pokemon's health, it would be accepted.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm talking like using them like steroids and whatnot.
Yeah. Hmm.
And on that note, the probably like the idea of the Pokerus, like I think that would also be an illegal thing. Like deliberately infecting your Pokemon with that would probably get you in huge trouble.
Yeah.
That would get you in some deep doo doo.
Yeah,
I
that
feel.
would probably that'd be like a federal crime, I think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's technically a disease.
Yeah. When it comes to like healing items, like the blueberry thing, I think it would be like a 50-50. Like unofficially, it would be allowed since you're allowing your Pokemon to heal during battle. But when it comes to like gym battles or official stuff, it would probably be banned.
Yeah, banned or heavily regulated there. So like you can only use like a certain amount in a certain kind. And I'd also
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
it gets expensive real quick, so it's kind of discouraged.
Yeah, because I can imagine someone like Richie Rich would probably be able to afford unlimited healing items, while someone like you and me would probably get blown out because we don't have the money to spend on healing items.
Yeah, and this would also tie into like how the X items would definitely be like something be that probably would be like banned from use because it basically allows you to cheap shot a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It would probably be something like law enforcement uses to deal with like some really dangerous people.
Hmm.
Basically, take him out real quick.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
don't want them to stick around too much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah, fair that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's actually technically that goes into another point, like the whole Richie Rich thing. Because when you think about it, in a lot of Pokemon games, a lot of Pokemon trainers have secondary jobs, which kind of implies that unless you're like up at the very top, you can't, or like one of the better trainers out there, like we're assuming like common worlds competitors and whatnot, it's not a high paying job.
No.
Like you can't really make a career out of it without something on the side. So like you have people doing like business work, you have some trainers are like mechanics and whatnot. They got other jobs.
Hmm.
Even have second jobs outside of that, like Nessa, I think she's called. Basically
Nessa's a
the
model.
model from Sword and Shield. Yeah, basically like
Yeah,
like
Nessa's a
like
model.
I thought it was
Pilot.
black and white.
Yes, Skyla is a pilot.
Skylar's a
You
pilot,
have,
yeah.
Hmm.
Elisa, who's
Bryson and
also a
Sabrina
model.
are
Is
both
it
in the acting
Elisa or
business.
Alina? Yeah, in the acting business, yeah.
Yeah, and literally Clay's gym is a freaking mine. It's probably like
Yeah.
Yep.
it's like that's I mean that raises many questions, but
Yeah, it raises a lot of questions and safety concerns there.
Hmm.
yeah. Now imagine that also imagine in a way it kind of applies to like breeding. That's why you have like the nurseries and whatnot, where like they charge for that because like Pokemon breeding is going to be in high demand, so they have to make business somehow.
Yep.
Which I imagine, unlike the games where it's a static amount, depending on like the levels given, it's actually instead that that depending on the species, it costs more or less.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, like it doesn't. It implies that being trading Pokemon isn't that profitable, and I imagine it also gets expensive too, especially the more
Yeah.
you have on your team. If you have like
Oh,
one.
yeah.
You don't have to worry about too much, but if you're doing like the whole team of 6, that's a lot to feed, especially if there's
Yep.
diets that are very
Oh,
specific.
yeah. I also imagine like your Professor Oaks basically would either have to have deep wallets, investments, or something to keep themselves afloat. Heck, they probably have like at least some form of financial backing from somewhere. Because if you look at Ash from from Pokemon, Professor Oak keeps a lot of Ash's old Pokemon, and that's going to be very expensive.
Yeah, that's that.
Well, he's
massive
also a
feed.
world famous professor, so that he probably does get a ton of sponsorships and whatnot,
Yeah.
and is
Yeah.
forced to remain honest in the process. Because I mean, the
Yeah.
one scandal and he is done for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, I have to bring up Ash again with this. You do realize he has an entire herd of Tauros, right?
Yep, that's why I'm
Yep.
mentioning Ash.
Yeah, and I can imagine that is either Oak or his mom was forced to get a ranch.
Hmm.
No, he caught an entire freaking herd of them.
Hmm.
Not one,
Back to
but
that,
an entire herd.
wasn't that like a Gen 1? So he technically has a herd of the
was.
best Pokemon in the game.
Yep.
Yeah, he
Yep.
has.
Yep.
It was.
And I don't think he used it to its peak either. Good lord.
He never
Yep.
used any one of them. That's the funny thing.
He did use a Tauros in the Gen 3 Battle Frontier portion.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
But by
will
then,
admit,
Tauros was power crept. It had already been nerfed to like a hazard. at the point.
Oblivion. It had already
Yep.
been nerfed to Oblivion.
Yeah.
I will say though, having an entire ranch is funny though.
Mhm.
Right.
It's like
Yeah,
Ash
here's one
looks
of-
at
And
all
you
of
have
them
to
like,
think as well.
what am I gonna do
right?
with all of you?
Yeah.
And here's the
Yeah.
thing, right? Ash isn't the only Pokemon trainer that's caught more than 6 Pokemon. There are probably other trainers that have caught more than 6 Pokemon. So
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah,
who's
Alder.
having to look after all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Alder.
That's probably an
that actually
occupation in and of
canonically-
itself.
Yeah, Alder canonically has an entire belt of the rest of his Pokemon because he didn't know how to use the PC.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, it's
Somebody made a tactical oopsie.
well, supposedly the PC was a very recent thing, according to like the Gen 1 games. It was a more recent thing.
Well,
Like Bill had
Gen 1 did come out in 1996, and like while PCs had been around for a while, they didn't start taking off until I think like the 90s, 2000s.
Yeah, so you could kind of attribute it to basically that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And then from there, it just went into the stratosphere.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah, like Bill had created it, and then the many others would like. Then you'd see like Bill's competitors making their own versions, like Lynette and whatnot, and then it's just got enhanced further and further.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And it
even though
from there.
I mean, you can say that they're competitors, but like they've probably met up at some point, like established like a friendship kind of thing, and like they're just passing each other ideas, like for expanding like the PC box network and making it even better than it is.
It could be, but you could also chalk it up to something like Microsoft versus Apple, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like you could probably look at it just like that.
you could, yeah.
I think that's actually the more likely thing.
Yeah.
He has to bring up Microsoft versus Apple. Always have to.
I could see something like, oh, if you have like a Linux distro box, you cannot move your Pokemon to Mac or something.
Think of it. What would they be called?
I feel like it would probably be, if we're going off of our world logic, it'd either be roughly the same or it would be named after a Pokemon or have some kind of catchy name to it.
Considering what Bill got turned into, I doubt he would want to name it after a Clefairy.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I wonder what would happen if he tripped on a moonstone.
Uh,
Not to mention it.
Oh god, yeah, imagine that, right? Mentally the Clefairy, like actually, did he swap bodies with it or was he turned into one? Can't
None
remember
of us
now.
know
I think he swapped
exactly. All we
bodies.
know is that oopsie happened and he became a Clefairy.
Yeah.
Imagine what would happen if he accidentally touched the moonstone. It would-
Imagine if he was body swapped with his Clefairy, tripped over a moonstone, evolved into a Clefable, then went back to then swapped back with his Clefairy, so it's just a Clefairy trapped in a Clefable.
I'd imagine he would feel anorexic as well.
Yeah, that would be a massive oopsie.
Yeah.
It would
be a massive oopsie
mental
poopsie.
consequences.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest oopsie poopsie possible.
Although technically, this does confirm the talking point because when he was a Clefairy, he was talking normally.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So yeah, it may be an intellect thing, and you have to teach him over. You have to teach him over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Although some of these things, I don't think you'd want talking because oh my god, imagine Xploud just going in the middle of the neighborhood and says, "Wake up, everybody!"
Yeah.
At the top of its lungs.
Or worse, he ends up mimicking the Happy Cat from Dog Dodgers. It's like, wake up! You are lazy and worthless.
Me casually looks at XCloud. Really? Really? We're gonna play that game.
And then it's just Xploud just like constantly bullying, like, I'll never let you sleep again.
Me puts on a headset. Yep, I can sleep just fine.
Reminder, he has thumbs.
I don't care.
He just yanked him off. It's like, wake up already! Okay, we're getting off topic. Anyways,
It's a funny off topic though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a funny off topic,
Mm.
yeah.
yeah, it's just a brain fart that just was too fun. Anyways,
Yeah.
but yeah, Bill kind of confirms the whole talking Pokemon a lot can probably be taught. It just some may take a lot longer. And I think
Yeah.
some would
Yeah,
be kind of
definitely.
scary to
Yeah.
see talking. Because imagine a freaking imagine teaching like a phantom to speak and just like it's sounding like a ghostly little kid.
Mhm. I imagine that some people would probably remember having a Gardevoir classmate at one point.
Wait, what?
Well,
Huh?
if you think about it, if certain Pokemon can actually talk, they would probably be given like I said earlier, equal rights. So you might have like a Gardevoir classmate because they're considered intelligent.
Oh no.
That I don't think it would go that far. I think there's is a certain point.
Mm.
And like I said, at first it does require like actively teaching them throughout for a while, and it may actually require like bonding with that Pokemon. So it may be like almost next to
A parrot.
non-existent in the wild. Like Slowking, technically, the reason it can talk is because, well, the poison in its head is making it more intelligent. So it's got an outside factor doing it constantly.
It's slightly high.
Excuse
That's
me.
one way to put it, actually.
Yeah, that is one way to put it.
Yeah. And I could also see like Pokemon that are trained to actually be able to speak the human language being used for translation purposes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Because Meowth did do that a lot in the anime, so we may actually see that here and there with like some Pokemon actually doing that. So like we could assume like a Pokemon Center, like there's portions of the back that's more like an actual vet rather
Mhm.
than just like the whole get the quick heal and whatnot. And you could probably see that being used a lot when like with like Pokemon trying to translate when trying to like save a Pokemon's life when they're like critically injured.
Yeah.
So yeah, that you could probably see it being like with that.
Mhm. Definitely.
And yet somehow I can see Tinkaton, if it could speak, being like, "It's bunk time!" Bam!
Mhm.
or that the one, nice bro, bang, kind of meme being a thing.
Mhm.
And then of
Definitely.
course
Tinkaton would obviously be the Bonkinator.
Bonk.
oh wait,
Bonk.
actually Tinkaton brings up another idea. There'd probably be like some combinations you can't legally own because of like a species rivalry, like
Tinkaton and
Zangoose and
Corviknight.
Survivor. Yeah, Tinkaton and Corviknight, Zangoose and Survivor, Ekans with like Pidgey and Spearow.
Mhm.
Yep.
Like you can't have that. I can imagine there's like combinations you can't have because they have such a natural rivalry that actually can lead to some dangerous scenarios.
Yeah, or at the very least, if you're a Pokemon trainer, you have to keep one out over the other.
Yeah, and I'd imagine there's like a registry for like the Pokemon you catch
Mhm.
that you are legally required to update. And if you're caught with like an illegal Pokemon, then like you better have a very good excuse, like, oh, this little guy was actually like injured and I'm trying to help him out. Or you might get arrested with like a fine and whatnot.
Yeah,
Or you could get in serious trouble, depending on the species.
especially if you get one that evolved, like Eevee would probably be like looked after because I got a Flameon. Well, my Eevee turned into a Flameon. My house might burn down or the neighborhood.
Well, I mean, if it's yours already and it evolved, I think that's an exception. I'm meaning like you suddenly had to catch one.
No. Look, what I mean is like you might have to do like some registration kind of like update, kind of like in My Hero Academia. You have like people occasionally updating their quirks.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can actually see this being a popular little pet, Sfeel, because I'm just going to link an image in the chat because look at
Bro
this! Look
wants
at
to
this
spiel
tiny
the
little
deal.
ball! Look at that face! Can you hate that? Can you actually hate that?
Nope.
I can see
Oop.
that would probably be a pet, but at the same time, you might get a protected species scenario because yeah, seals are cute, but you can't pet them or keep them as a pet for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and then it evolves into Celio and then Walrein, which, yeah, you don't want to keep it as a pet after that.
Yeah.
The trope
you can
of
always
it's
give it
cute, but
Neverstone.
it's small.
Helio is actually kind of docile. Let me look at the Pokédex
Yeah.
entries.
You can give it a Neverstone so it doesn't evolve.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But
Actually, Celio's actually somewhat docile, and in fact, it's kind of more like it's actually a lot of these Pokédex entries imply it has a much more playful nature. So you kind of would have to get a proper enclosure for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
One
It's
issue,
something big enough for Celia would kind of be a little hard.
one issue with the Forever Stone is that not everyone knows about the Forever Stone. Correct me if I'm wrong. I recall like Dawn's Pigluff basically did not want to evolve, and so Pigluff basically tried to keep it in to prevent itself from evolving. And Dawn at the time did not know about the Forever Stone.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't say like
Was using
Walrein is
Beyblade
that
constantly.
aggressive
Yeah.
or anything. It does say that its tusks do keep growing, so I imagine like you have to constantly groom it
Yeah.
with like
Yeah, you'd
sanding
have to-
down the tusks and whatnot.
Yeah, you'd have to shave those things down like
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, so it'd probably be one of those that like you'd have to do some you have to do some regular grooming and whatnot.
Mhm. Very much so.
Now, I don't think anybody would be owning a Walrein.
No.
Probably not, unless I think maybe it's also like country dependent.
Now, I could see
Yeah.
somebody in, like, say, Denmark, for example, owning one mainly because of the temperature.
And it might
Yeah.
also be like a country animal or something.
Yeah, or like say the temperature is perfect for Walrein.
Hmm.
Okay, hey, sorry, my earbuds almost popped out. Anyways, when it comes to Walrein, I think like maybe it's like country dependent. So you could probably make the argument that like you could probably see people owning Pokemon like that in like say northern Russia or whatnot, or like Greenland. You just won't see it very commonly anywhere else.
Yeah.
So that is something to keep in mind. Is like certain countries may have like different Pokemon used as like pets, or the regulations may be different to allow such or disallow such.
Yeah.
Because like in Alola, Mudsdale is in lore not allowed to be on the road. To actually be on the road because of how heavy the hooves are. But as a result, like places where that isn't that big of a deal because they're otherwise developing, you could probably say like maybe some areas in Africa, you could probably still see them.
Yeah, Mudsdale could get away there.
Funny thing that you mentioned Alola, or the game that takes place in Sun and Moon. This is what would realistically would be allowed for the younger trainers. Just because you have all that safety gear.
Yeah, the safety gear, but also I'd imagine like if we're assuming it's Hawaii, it's probably got a much smaller league.
Yeah.
Or it's probably connected to the United States. It would be
Yeah.
more like just a vacation spot rather than an actual league of its own.
Basically, if you look at Alola, it technically is a section off part of the United States.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They based Alola off the Hawaiian archipelago,
Yep.
Yep.
whereas Unova is at like part of the mainland U.S.
Mainly the Northeast, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's around where I am. So basically, Alola hits or not Alola. Unova hits close to home with me. In fact, I think the southern tip of Unova is actually like right above where I live. If you were to put it on the map,
Hmm.
Yeah,
like just
if we go
above.
by that logic, technically they could use the U.S. about like 2 or 3 more times for inspiration.
They could use the U.S. at least like 10 more times.
Honestly, I kind of want to see the Southeast because that would get real interesting real quick.
The entire East Coast, it'd be like 4 to 5 regions.
Considering how popular North Carolina is when it comes to Pokemon video games, you'd think they would have actually probably taken a look at the Carolinas.
Now considering that Unova is like the bottom half is just above where I am, or like literally like the bottom tip, I would like to see Unova but extended all the way to where I live. You
Yeah, I
kind of
could
get
see
a rough idea. That's kind of my hot take on that. I definitely want to see where I would live in Unova, though. In an extended Unova.
Yeah.
They can probably do a Florida man joke.
Oh yeah, they could definitely make an entire region just around Florida. That would be
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you have like just
kiss.
the Florida man jokes everywhere who would like to do crazy stuff. That's the
Yeah.
entire
Florida
evil
man
team, is
jokes
Florida Man.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Florida Man's the whole evil team.
Yeah.
This is actually a little
Natty Lights and Gator Wrestling.
Mm.
this is a very interesting thing.
Sorry,
keep
I
in
have to
mind.
make the joke.
Knucklestack and Garganackle. Because Knucklestackle is actually kind of dangerous, but once it evolves into Garganackle, it's actually very good for healing.
Oh.
Yeah, because of the Salt Cure.
Yeah, because Knucklestack, it cures with salt, whereby basically stealing the fluids from them, whereas Garganackle, the salt is healing others.
Mm.
So it
That's a really interesting kind of dilemma because of the fact that with because Knucklestack evolves into Garganackle, obviously, but it's dangerous as Knucklestack, but becomes good as Garganackle.
I have an interesting idea that Knucklestack would be really good as like a chef, or in the kitchen because of the salt.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
I think you could say there's
The healing salt,
Pokemon that does that.
healing salt on meat. You see where I'm going?
I can see it.
Yeah.
And also the salt curing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the salt curing on like meat makes it really good.
Hmm.
Yeah, and while of course we probably don't have to worry too much on the paradox Pokemon in real life, they do bring up another point that I think is worth talking about. And that is the idea of invasive species.
Yeah.
You don't need to remind me of this one.
Yeah. I imagine that wasp type Pokemon would be considered a invasive species and a particularly dangerous one as well.
I mean, I feel like kind of like how in Florida there was like another species of snake, a few species of snakes that were becoming invasive. Like you could say like a survivor coming from like Europe and then suddenly ending up in Florida. I can imagine that would be something. So that's when you can see like in eradication purposes or like all this or like catching regulations kind of.
I'm gonna be right back. Gotta go do a thing. I'll be back in a bit.
All right. But like, that's what, as I was saying, like you could probably do like the catching regulations are probably loosened for like the use of like quick balls for like bounties on those kinds of things.
Oh,
I can imagine that's something you can do a lot.
another thing that I can see happening, especially with the invasive species, they would probably lose a lot of regulation when it comes to capturing them. Because I recall in some countries, if you have a invasive species, they usually don't like to have the species into the country, so you can just go up and then take it home with you.
I can imagine some people are going to really wish that some Pokemon like Rockruff became invasive.
Yeah.
It's like free puppy.
Yeah.
Eh.
I'd imagine this more so applies to like those who are truly destructive to the ecosystem or aggressive. Because I imagine like say you have have like Lillipups being invasive, but those are little puppies that actually would want to be pet in the wild, and it's like people are not going to care whatsoever. They're going to want that around.
Mhm.
Hate to interrupt. Is it alright if I be excused for like maybe about half an hour? I need to pick up some stuff at the store real quick.
Fair,
That's
fair.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll.
I'll be back as
I
quick
think
as I
we'll need
can.
to wrap up pretty soon anyway. It's already close to 5. Good lord.
Yeah. I need to get to the store before 7, because that's when
Mm.
it
All
closes.
right.
Yeah. So I figured I'd let you guys know.
Mm.
That's understandable. Just try not to trip on the guards.
Yeah, very funny.
Okay.
Yeah. And beware the muck that's under the drains. You'll know if it smells like whatever the sensor bleep's gonna be. Anyways,
I'll be back as soon as I can.
Mhm.
all right. Yeah, there's also
Sorry.
some Pokemon I could kind of see being a status symbol. I
Sylveon.
kind of go, huh?
Sylveon would be a status symbol.
Yes, I bet. Considering your own PFP, I bet it would really be a status symbol.
Yes.
Probably gonna wait for like at least one of the other two guys to come back before we're going into that topic.
Understandable. Mostly because I like you said earlier before the call, I am a bit of a Pokemon boomer, so it's like, oh, what Pokemon?
Well, I mean, that gives some ideas. Like, you could probably
What?
bring up a few that from the older games that could probably be like that.
Yeah.
Like, well, we have to sip for the mascot somehow. I imagine Pikachu's one.
Pikachu would be one, but since Pikachu is a mouse type, I can see it either way, because on one hand, yeah, Pikachu would be a status symbol, but on the other hand, it could potentially be a invasive species, because why would you have a wild mouse? Yes, people keep mice as pets, but at the same time, mice are also kind of invasive.
Yeah, you could say that about Rattata.
Yeah.
I think it like just regular migration can kind of turn into the invasive species issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of bird Pokemon are more than likely to do the whole flying south for the winter thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you could probably see them becoming a little invasive at times.
Oh, yeah.
As well as like some grass types that may be dangerous to be around. Like the Vitribell line, I mean, that's a freaking pitcher plant that could eat somebody. So,
Definitely.
yep. Keep the Meowth away from that.
Oh, yeah. The amount of, pet Pokemon that would absolutely would be a loss would be high, I imagine.
Yeah. And I don't think this would count for regional forms though. So like Cantonian Meowth and suddenly you see a Alolan one, I don't think would really be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Depending, because I mean Alolan Meowth was meant to be like a luxurious pet.
Mm-hmm.
like way back in the day, and
Yeah.
Galarian Meowth was meant to be basically the Viking's pet cat.
Yeah, definitely. Just because it has that weird symbol thing on his head, so that's
Well, it's also
probably
the Pokedex entries where it's living with a savage seafaring people has toughened this Pokemon's body so much that parts of it have turned to iron. So basically, it's saying like this thing's a Viking.
yeah.
Heck, it even evolves into one.
Okay,
And if you want to know what I mean, just give me 1 sec. I'll link it into the chat.
okay.
That's what Galarian Meowth evolves into.
Oh.
It turns into a Viking.
Ah.
And meanwhile, Alolan Meowth turns into a Persian that looks like this Garfield-looking guy.
Huh. Huh. So really it's
Yeah.
straight up regional.
Yeah, that started in Gen 7.
Mm. Alright.
Though also apparently Alolan Persian makes for a terrible pet because it's very mean.
Oh.
I mean, that just sounds like a typical cat.
Ah.
A typical carrion, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
love you.
typical
I hate
carrion.
Meow 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 meow.
And what timing, anyway. Anyways.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God. I had to start pulling stuff out of my butt because head empty.
Head empty,
Yeah.
Head empty, no thoughts.
My inner boomer was taking over.
Yeah. Some, of course, also be like, if you imagine how this thing probably looks like in real life, it'd probably be terrifying despite being good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's... Yeah, that was my little alarm going, so we may have to wrap this up pretty soon. That, like, a Golduck would probably look absolutely horrifying with more realistic features. But
Right.
at the same time, this thing is probably your saving grace if you're lost at sea.
Mm.
It's not like Jellicent where it's there just...
Deleted.
Golduck actually is to guide you back to land.
Yeah.
Well, now that at least one of the guys is back, we've actually been looking at like some Pokemon are probably like status symbols to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like Furfru's probably the most obvious one because that's literally what it is in lore, and even has the gimmick of the different fur coat styles. So you can probably assume that's like a rich people dog.
Yeah.
And Persian, like the Alolan version was supposedly bred for like Alolan Royals in the past, so that probably has it there too. Now I'm trying to think of like what else would probably be a status symbol aside from legendaries, because I mean that's just kind of cheating. Well, I can imagine maybe like some like certain fairy types, maybe, or certain psychic types.
I think that one snake type Pokemon, I forgot what it's called, which was a starter and black and white would possibly
Superior.
Yeah.
Oh, Snivy.
Snivy
Yeah,
might
Snivy and the Superior.
might be a status Pokemon.
I feel like a starter in general might actually be that.
Depends. Because Chick Flick or that
Chick Flick.
You mean Chikorita?
Yeah,
Chikorita.
Chikorita
Chick flick.
Chikorita would probably be straight up.
Chikorita like watching chick flicks. Okay, I'll shut up.
Hey, she's a sensitive girl, okay?
Chikorita would probably just be straight up food, but that's mostly because chicken, and it doesn't look all that whimsical.
Chikorita's a grass type. It doesn't look like a chicken at all.
There was that
I
one
think you're
fire
mixing
type.
it up with
There wasn't that one fire type chicken Pokemon.
it's Torchic.
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 We already
Now this is
discussed
how we know you're a
Torchic.
boomer. This is how we know you're a boomer.
Like, yeah, dude, your boomer is showing because we did discuss Torchic earlier, including its evolution line.
Yeah, like
All right.
Torch.
Yeah, I think Grandpa might need to be going to bed.
Yeah, Torchic would definitely be straight up food for obvious reason, but Charizard would definitely be a status animal.
Yeah, Charizard due to the I'm gonna get crucified for this. Unwar. It's overrated popularity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
It honestly is. Let's be real.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Just because Charizard was literally the only Pokemon that I knew when I was 6 years old. It's like, oh, Charizard, dragon, dragon, dragon. Oh, fish,
Except
fish.
not really.
Fish.
It's only fire flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Firefly.
And it dies to Sneaky Pebbles. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, Charizard probably would be a status symbol.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to simp for Game Freak's favorite somehow.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
you have to think about it, they might be onto something with this little topic that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's yeah, Honchkrow I could see like being a popular one for like the Mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean, Alfred Hitchcock the Bird,
Uh-huh.
probably his persona, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably would be something common for like the mob during like the height of Prohibition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Stunky for the stinky people that don't leave their houses.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just bug types in general. You could kind of see like some bodybuilders having like, say, a Machamp or a Conkeldurr. Or if like you're I could honestly see historians having Yamask and Cofagrigus.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another one that would actually be a straight up status symbol would probably be those dinosaur Pokemon.
All the fossils?
Yeah, because technically speaking, they're extinct, but you brought them back from extinction.
I think that would be like something relegated to the scientists.
Mm.
It's even Sinnoh being popular amongst rich people as well.
Yeah.
What's it? Yeah, of course, legendaries. Obviously, that's a status symbol right there.
Mm-hmm.
Forgus, I could
Legendaries.
see being Forgus, I could see being popular amongst like Hollywood and like
Yeah.
those in like fashion and whatnot.
Legendaries are automatic status symbols for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
What else? Hmm.
Halucha, I could see being very popular in Mexico, so to say, because the whole matador culture.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I could honestly see something like Goudreau being popular with kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though, good lord, the amount of showers you'd have to take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't Snorlax also kind of like considered like popular with the kids?
Well, that's Snorlax.
Yeah.
It's
Because-
gonna be popular with everybody.
Yeah.
Unless it's blocking your house.
Yeah, because I recall Snorlax, kids like to climb on top of Snorlax.
Yeah, that is a common thing. Snorlax is actually not that aggressive, all things considered.
Yeah. Unless you get in front of its food, that's where it actually gets angry.
Yeah. Yeah, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. It is such a docile Pokemon that there are children who use its expansive belly as a place to play. Yeah, it actually is a pretty safe thing to be around.
Yeah.
Granted, there are some you don't want your kids around, like thanks to the Terra Leak, Typhlosion, and Typhlosion you definitely don't want.
No.
Slacking definitely got in the registry, but for a completely different reason. As
Tikowit's ability, it's a fucking Pokemon.
Yeah, so you have the the glaring wheezing being the awaken my masters, and then suddenly
Suddenly
slacking Regigigas
is
and Arceus
yeah.
are just way too powerful.
Yeah.
How lazy is
I.
Hmm.
uh, goodness.
Could see Hariyama being popular in Japan for like the sumo culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I imagine that would probably to some degree would absolutely end certain industries, like the sumo culture would probably be taken over by that one Pokemon.
You could also see some bodybuilding
Yeah,
championships doing like having athletes competing against a Pokemon for like certain things.
yeah,
Oh, this might actually be an idea of like a status symbol. Megas.
yeah.
Oh, Megas definitely would be a status symbol.
Oh
I think the
yeah.
most obvious there would be Altaria, because I mean, look at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Fairy.
Yeah,
Or
Dragon Fairy,
Dragon.
and look at that fabulous cloud that is around it.
yeah. One thing you
Yeah.
have to keep in mind for the Megas, though, yes, they would be a status symbol, but I think it would also be kind of iffy because certain Mega evolutions does cause the Pokemon severe suffering and pain.
That is true, but there's literally nothing
I think
on that for Mega Altaria.
yeah, that and also like uh in gameplay, they don't stay mega evolved for very long, so I don't think that like yes, even though like the Pokedex entries for the mega forms say it causes them great pain, I imagine that only starts to apply if you keep them in that form for like a long period of time.
Yeah,
I could also see
Like
it
if you
being
just use it in a battle to like quickly finish off an opponent, well, you know what I mean. Um,
yeah.
then it probably doesn't cause them that much pain. Maybe a little, but not enough for it to warrant like because like a mega form is basically that Pokemon at its peak power, basically.
yeah. Fair, fair.
You could also make the argument that that might also have regulation tied to it as well, where you can only do it in certain places, like
Mm-hmm.
how
Yeah.
Dynamax is only allowed in gym like areas in Galar. There's probably the same case for Megas,
Mm-hmm.
so that it's a more controlled environment in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
So in the case of Galar, it's more like that's definitely a huge draw for like the sports culture, but there's probably a safety reason attached to it as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Okay, yeah. I think that would apply to all the gimmicks, actually.
Agreed. I feel like we're running out of ideas at this point.
We kind of are. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
we've
to
been
be
at this
fair,
for almost for like over
3
3 hours.
hours?
Kind of
Yeah.
the target range anyway.
Yeah.
That's
So let's see
usually
if we
about
can,
how long a podcast goes on for. I mean, like,
Yeah.
shortest I've seen a podcast go is like an hour, but like here it's about average.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of want to. I know, like this has been more like we're talking like the Pokédex, how it apply in real life. So I mean, we can probably revisit this topic for like outside of the Pokédex, like what the world would be like, maybe.
Yeah. Should that be like part 2 for next week then?
Could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If I could,
that'd probably work.
if I can make a suggestion for the schedule, try not to make it on the same day as D&D, just so it doesn't conflict with that on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, my hands are just kind of tied this time, is all.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
If possible, I'll see if I can try to make it like probably like a Sunday thing, maybe.
I would not be able to do Sunday because my Sunday's kind of already taken up. Same with Fridays, so it would probably
can't
have to
do
be during
weekdays
the
in
week
general.
for me.
I can't do weekdays in general. That's all.
Ah.
Hmm.
I guess it really just depends, like word of mouth, whichever it's going to be, like Saturday or Sunday. I guess then.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I am free for it. Then if I'm not, you probably just do it without me.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
For me, I'm usually free throughout the week, but usually the best days to get me are usually in the evenings, just because I'm less likely to get pulled away.
Whereas me, I always have to worry about it, no matter what.
Yeah.
So how about we just go with like one final thing, since we're just covering the Pokédex, and that is now we can actually pivot into legendaries, and that is the impact of possibly encountering some, how that might go.
I feel like the chances of actually encountering a legendary is low, but not zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea, but like there are some that you could survive. There's some that you're probably screwed.
Yeah.
Primal Groudon and Kyogre, you are dead. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna pretend you're not. You are just straight up dead.
Yeah,
Why is that?
like
well, Groudon makes it so that the heat is so intense that, like, so in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, when you fight them in their primal forms, you're actually wearing, like, a specialized suit that protects you from their ability, because their ability is so intense. Without that suit, you'd straight up die.
Okay.
yeah, like it's because like the ability of Primal Groudon completely evaporates water.
Oh.
So imagine being exposed to that.
Yeah. If we definitely knew about that, I feel like that Pokemon would be straight up isolated. Like you would
It
probably
kind of
need
is.
special.
It created continents, and it's just constantly dormant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it would be straight up relegated to only scientists.
No, not even scientists would be able to get close to it.
You'd have an entire organization keeping people out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you disturb Groudon or Kyogre, they straight up just go into "I'm going to destroy everything" mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rayquaza has to step in.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
similar case with I can't say it's Xerneas and Yveltal. It's more so like those who kind of try to match their power. Does Legion
Well-
ZA prove that Zygarde, if you mess with the balance of nature, it will come in and stomp you?
Well, yeah. I mean, Xerneas, it can pretty much give you eternal life,
Mhm.
as we've learned through X and Y. Yveltal,
Xerneas is the aspect of life. Yveltal is the aspect of death.
yeah.
And
It doesn't
both
actually
X and
try.
Y
Deleted.
show why too much of either is actually really bad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
After
yeah,
all,
that's what.
it was
that's
through the overabundance
that's why the
of
moderator
life that you had to
Zygarde
fight
had
the
to
freaking
step in.
Yeah, because the overabundance of life is why you had to freaking fight the Eiffel Tower in Legend ZA. Sorry
Yep.
for spoilers, but the game's been out for over a year.
Yep.
Mhm.
I already finished it, so it's not a spoiler to me.
It does imply that Zygarde may be like super overpowered when it's in its 100% form as well.
It
Mhm.
is. Especially like it gives you a pebble at like I don't know if you know this, it gives you a pebble that later becomes its mega stone.
Yeah, and
Because
also just to
literally
show
it
how
chooses.
overpowered this thing it is, when it mega evolves, its special attack is 216 base.
Yeah.
That means even Blissey gets one shot by this thing.
Yeah. And it gives you that pebble. Well, it gives you its mega stone because it literally chooses you to be its like partner in saving the Kalos region and Lumiose City.
It does lead to an interesting question concerning the 10% form as a dog.
Yeah. He is goodest boy.
Yeah, but it's technically a legendary. It's only 10%, but having that around, would that be legal?
Mm.
Hey, it's technically a dog.
Well,
But
here's the thing.
is it big?
It not really.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Zygarde is still a legendary, and it's also the Pokemon that is like the thing that keeps Xerneas and Yveltal in balance. So like you mentioned there, if it tips one way or the other, it kind of has to step in to like knock the balance back into equilibrium. So too much death has to step in and like give life. Too much life, and it has to like. Well, you saw what the Eiffel Tower did at the end of ZA. So well, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, technically, it's not so much giving life if there's too much death, it's stopping. It's more of it starts dealing with what's causing the mass death.
Yeah.
Like, it gets aggressive to what's forcibly tipping the balance one way or another. It starts beating the crap out of it, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is a pretty funny thought when it comes to the idea of the bubonic plague. That it just
Mhm.
suddenly start coming around and just stopping and blasting a bunch of rats.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Great Fire of London. Zygarde just got a bit too angry.
Yep.
That's
And here's the
hilarious.
thing, it's not just like exclusive to Kalos in its duty to like keep life and death in balance. It applies to the entire world, and like it can call upon its
Wow.
cells. It can call upon its cells at any point as well. So like
Jin's finally available. Give me a second.
Oh well.
wow, it's like about when we're about to wrap up too.
Yeah, well, I mean,